Setting a goal in your head is not enough. If your goal is not in HubSpot, your team just can't measure it. My name is Jasper, I'm a certified HubSpot consultant, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how you set goals in HubSpot and how you work with them. So most B2B companies have goals, but quite often they're set in spreadsheets, so they're not in the same system as they're using for their day-to-day business and their day-to-day sales process. This is a problem. It makes it difficult to accurately track progress, to motivate your sales team, and to report with context. And the thing is, HubSpot has built-in goal capabilities. The problem is most teams just don't use it. That's something I want to show you in this video, so I'll share my screen and we'll get right into it. So first of all, we want to find the goals feature. If you go to the left sidebar here to reporting, you will see we find goals. And when you go there, usually you will not have any goals if you're watching this video. Maybe you already have a couple of goals here, but we're going to create our first goal right now. So if we create a goal in the top right corner, and then we get two options. So either we create a goal from a template, which will probably be what you will be seeing if you're on a professional license. If you're on one of the enterprise licenses, you will also have the ability to create a goal from scratch, which gives you even more options. For our use case today, we're going to create a goal from a template, which will also be the easiest for you to do. And we're just going to focus on one goal today. You can see that we have a bunch of goals here in the different hubs. So for example, for sales, we have revenue, forecastable revenue, meetings booked, deals created, calls made, all of them important for the sales process. But for this video specifically, we're going to work with forecastable revenue. As you can see here, this is a goal in the sales category. It's used for the deals object, and the property that's being used is the amount in the company currency. The data is aggregated as a sum, and the unit of measurement is US dollar. And then you can also look at what filters are being applied, so you can see that it tracks all of the closed won deals as it should. So we'll go to set goal. We have our forecastable revenue here. It's going to be a sales forecast. We now can have multiple forecast types in HubSpot. It's something recent that has been added. Then we need to give our goal a name. So let's just say that we want to increase this year's revenue by 25%. Then we can also choose the contributors for the goal, like you need to choose these. So for now, I'll just choose myself here. But if you have multiple teams, you can, for example, set goals for specific teams. We'll choose the fiscal year that this applies to. And then we can also choose the pipeline. Now, just know that if you do all pipelines and you want to use this in the forecast, you will need to do your forecasting based on forecast categories. I'll show that to you in a moment as well, but that's an important thing to know here. So then we'll go to next, and now we can see that we can set this goal. So what we could do here is we could set our goals right here and be 250,000 January, 300,000 in February, and so on. Or you can just do this in bulk and just set all of the values in this row at once. So for example, let's say that we want to do 500,000. Now this will just fill out all of the different months here, and you can still update this if necessary. So we'll click on next, and then we can choose the notifications. So this is when we will receive a notification. You can do this for the goal kickoff, when the goal is exceeded, achieved, or missed. I usually like to select all of these. For team communications, you might also do the kickoff so that everyone knows that a goal has been set, but you also might want to keep that for a team meeting instead. So we'll create this goal. This has now been created, and we have that forecastable revenue. And here we can see that we already made some progress this year, although we're just 2% into our goal right now. So our goal has been set. Now, one thing that I should mention here is that this HubSpot hub specifically has been set up for a monthly pipeline. You can also have yours set up for a quarterly pipeline. And in that case, you would set your goals on a quarterly basis as well. So it goes together with how your pipeline is set up specifically. So now let's get to the part where this becomes useful. And that's when we go to sales and then forecast. First of all, if you go to deal stage, it will not be able to use your forecast goal since it's set up for all pipelines and you can't really select all pipelines in this tab. So if you want to do that, you'll have to go to forecast category. This is what I usually like to use, especially when you have multiple pipelines. And here you can see in this demo portal, I haven't used this before, so I still get the explanation. We'll do get started. We get a chance to review the forecast categories. So for example, these are all of the default categories. Usually I just like to leave those as they are, but let's quickly go over these categories. So we have not forecasted, which are the deals that are not part of the forecast. We have the pipeline, deals with a low chance of closing. We have best case, deals with a moderate chance of closing, and commit, they have a high chance of closing. And closed one, of course, is already closed. So we'll keep these, go to next, and then we can map these to our deal stages in the different pipelines as well. Let me quickly check these. Okay, this all looks fine. We'll click on finish, and now we're all set to go to our forecast. Here we can select all pipelines, and now we can also immediately see our goal here. So if we change this to this quarter, so right here we can see the data for this quarter. We get our goal for all pipelines, which is 1.5 million for Q2. Closed one is 120K right now, which leaves us with a gap of 1.4 million. But then we can also see that our total pipeline for this quarter is 7.6 million. So we have a coverage of about 5.5. So that leaves us in a pretty good spot. Then here you can see that the team, which is just me here in this case, has achieved 8% of the goal with the total pipeline here, and then also the pipeline coverage and the deals in the different forecasting categories. Now, if we want to go more into detail here, you can, for example, click on 5 deals that are in the pipeline here, and you can see all of the information right here. Another interesting one is that if we actually go to one of these deals and we set a next step for this deal, which I would always recommend. Now, if we go back here and we refresh, that next step also actually shows up. So this gives you a better idea of where all the deals are. Based on the next step, you can also gauge the probability for that specific deal. And personally, I also feel this is a great tool to coach your sales team. Maybe you want to have a weekly or bi-weekly meeting with your different sales reps, and you can use this perfectly to coach them along the way. And you can see this for all of the different forecasting stages. And then you can also review the goals for the separate pipelines if there were specific goals for the separate pipelines. Right now, that's not the case. So you can see we have a bunch of testing pipelines here, but we only set a goal for all of the pipelines together, which means that that's the only goal that will actually show up right now. Then the last thing you can do here, I know this video is about goals, but it's also an interesting one. You can also ask your sales reps to do forecast submissions, but let me know in the comments below if that's a video that you would want to see as well on how this feature actually works. Now, this gives you clear targets, better visibility, and a great way to do forecasting, all inside HubSpot. If you like this video, I'm sure you would like this video about how to use sales playbooks in HubSpot, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.